Hey!
Sorry about that.
And there he is.
Sorry.
There you are.
Okay, first time looking at this. Apologies.
It looks good.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
Looks good, especially the purple couch.
Yeah, got some color to it. Sorry about that, guys. I was like running around here. Just literally jumped out of the shower.
All right.
I thought you were trying to suck up by styling your hair like Jeff's.
It's
Oh my
close.
God.
Close.
You've got the forehead the size of a football stadium.
I was going to say, Jeff's got a little bit more up front still.
Yeah. I'm still working this thing. All right. I'm going to do the cold open and then we'll go into this thing. There we go. On today's Old People This Week, Mike, Paul, and I talk about drunk Gen Xers and stupid Gen Zers, which, of course, is what we talk about every week. Plus, more mindless TikTok videos, the scam of the week, and, of course, Florida man hijinks. Plus, Mike's Home Depot quail. Let's go.
Absolutely.
Hello and welcome to Old People This Week. My name is Jeff, and those two septuagenarians, which means they're very, very old, that's Mike and Paul. Good evening, boys.
How you doing, Jeff? Hey, Paul.
Hey,
Old People This Week is for smart, mentally agile people, 60 years of age or over. If you're under 60 and you stumbled in here, go back to TikTok or wherever you were, Tinder, or stick around and learn something because we will teach you. Every week we give you the stories that you need to know to head into the weekend so you'll sound smart when you're hanging out with your friends, playing golf, playing pickleball, at the gym, or of course at happy hour where Mike and I perform weekly. Big news, in just the last 3 weeks, we've gone nuts subscriber-wise. We've jumped from absolute obscurity into semi-obscurity now. But literally over 100 and some odd subscribers in the last couple of weeks. Thank you all. Okay, let's get right into it. Mike, I got to tell you, you were bragging about that you don't eat turkey for Thanksgiving, that
No.
you go quail,
Yep.
and then you had it delivered to my house for some reason, some ungodly reason. You didn't want your wife to see what you were doing or something. But the box came to our house, and it was in a Home Depot box, and I'm putting the picture up right here so that people don't think I'm lying. Why do you buy your quail from Home Depot?
I don't. I buy my quail from a quail ranch in Northern California. Good friend of mine named Brent Wolf. Wolf Ranch Quail. He supplies all the 4-star Michelin restaurants on the West Coast. Thomas Keller, French Laundry, loves his quail. Anyway, he sends me 2 or 3 times a year a shipment of frozen quail. And he just puts them in whatever box he can find.
And that's your story. You stick with it, buddy.
I'm sticking with it.
Yeah.
I'm sticking with it.
I was at Home Depot today. I was looking around for the quail section to see if I could pick up one. Bring it home. Oh, my God. All right. Let's get right to the news. And, of course, the news story of the week is where a picture's worth 1,000 words. This is it. These two drunk as hell Gen X tourists being pushed back to their hotel in a dump, what do they call those things?
Like a shopping cart.
A shopping cart by a Thai policeman. Just take a look at these pictures of these two. One's 19, the other's 23, and they are the most out of it people I have ever seen in my life, other than you, Mike, when I've seen you at the happy hour every once in a while.
I bring my own shopping cart.
But the thing that got me about this story was I don't want to goof on them terribly because there, for the grace of God, go I. I've certainly been that hammered before. At Paul's house, by the way.
yeah.
But if you are a young woman and you want to get hammered somewhere, do it in Daytona Beach, not in Thailand.
Not in Thailand. No. You wind up in a slavery ring somewhere.
Right, you'll be trafficked in 5 minutes. Who know this guy? And you can see they're so messed up. They can't even. They're not even awake. They're curled up in a ball. It's terrible.
Yeah. Well, my question was looking at these pictures. how'd they even get them in the cart? I mean, it must have taken 3 people to wad them up and dump them in there. Yeah. That was terrible.
Yeah, it's terrible. It was just, I just was thinking, I hope my daughter never got that hammered ever to be like that. Oh my God.
You don't want to know.
No, you don't want to know. And then the other good Thanksgiving story was the $4 million home that burnt to the ground when the fool owner tried to fry a turkey in his garage.
Deep fry.
Yeah.
Always
Yeah.
the deep fry.
Yeah, but why would you do it in your garage? A, why would you he probably left it unattended, B, and then he burns down. This was not some white trash outside of some city in, backwoods Alabama. This is some dude who was a $4 million home he burned up.
It's a waterfront home in Connecticut. You see the picture of it?
Yeah.
It's just frightening. I mean, and it burned to the ground.
Yeah.
The whole damn thing.
And I read the story, and one of the firefighters said that one of the problems is that someone ran over the hose and busted it, and they couldn't get water out of it for several minutes, and that didn't help.
Yeah.
No.
Anyways.
And we're about to enter that season where it's getting colder, and we're going to start putting those heaters in, like you got the gasoline, and the fumes fill up the room, and kaboom.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be fun. We'll be reporting on that for sure.
Yeah. And Christmas tree lights that set the tree on fire.
Yeah, like right, exactly like those movies. And Ashtabula, Ohio, the proud city where I hail from in northeastern Ohio, right on Lake Erie, always the victim of the lake effect in terms of snow, got a grand total of 39 inches of snow over the Thanksgiving weekend.
Wow.
39 inches of snow. That is, I'll tell you what that is. It's 14 inches more taller than the shortest woman in the world. Her name, we reported on this last week, so if you want to see it, well, I have another picture of her. Her name is Jyoti Amge, A-M-G-E. She's an Indian actress, and she's 2 foot 1 inch.
Yeah. She'd be in deep trouble in that snowstorm.
Oh my God, they wouldn't be able to dig her out till spring.
No.
It's like that story I told you guys about my dog, Casey, that lived in the snowbanks behind our house in Ashtabula, because in those days, dogs didn't live in the house. They were dogs. They lived outside. Yeah. And it would snow like that, and then my dad would go out and feed Casey. It would take me 10 minutes with a shovel to even find where he was. Frozen. Now, do you guys know who Yuki Kawamura is?
Plays for the Memphis Grizzlies, doesn't he?
You did your research. And what's so interesting about Mr. Yuki Kawamura?
Currently,
Yeah.
the shortest NBA player.
He's the shortest NBA player.
5'8", yeah.
5 foot 8 inches tall. That's taller than you, Mike.
That is quite a bit taller than me.
You know what? I'm going to hook you up with Giodi.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there were shorter players over the history of the NBA.
Oh, yeah.
I want to say Calvin, was Calvin Murphy, wasn't it? Calvin Murphy?
Calvin Murphy was short. Spud Webb was
Spud
short.
Webb. There's another
He
one.
was a short guy. And also, in the old days, like, for example, in the 50s and 60s, they had, like, Bob Cousy wasn't any more than 6 foot tall. They were, and those guys, that was a different era, though.
I was going to say, it was a different game.
Yeah.
But anyways, 5 foot 8, yeah, and he's playing for Memphis. That's pretty cool.
Where did he play college ball?
I don't, no, I don't think he's American. I think they got him from, I
He's in
think,
China, I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't
he
think
played on the
he's,
China national team at the Olympics this summer.
they had some video of him playing, and he is, around the rest of those players in the NBA, he looks short.
Absolutely.
Matter of fact, the clip I saw of him, he was bringing the ball down the court, and in order to make a pass, he had to leap up to throw the ball.
Throw it over somebody's head.
Yeah. All right. So, at any rate, here's what I was telling Mike before you jumped on, Paul, is that I just changed from an HMO to a PPO. So all of you out there who are boomers like us, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Going through the same thing right now. Yeah.
Yeah. So open enrollment, this whole thing, and I'm not used to because I never had to deal with this before. But at any rate, I got this PPO, and I've decided I wanted to go to see this orthopedist at this orthopedic center near where we live. And I got online and made an appointment, and then they gave me this questionnaire. And this questionnaire was about 40 pages, and basically, it was like a colonoscopy. It wanted to know everything about me, financially, health-wise, everything. They go, did you smoke? When did you stop smoking? But in this questionnaire, one of the questions was, what is your sexual orientation?
Yes.
And in the box, I'm looking at the box, and it only had three choices. It said bisexual, choose not to disclose, or don't know. So I'm sitting there staring at it, and I didn't know whether to go find Valerie and ask her what.
Yeah.
What do I do here now? I don't. Is it? I don't know. So finally, I realized it's actually a menu, and I used used my mouse, and I scrolled down, and there was a choice for straight, and I picked that. I put straight down, yeah. And then it asked partners, male or female. Mm-hmm. All right, and then so I guess I put down female, but it doesn't ask you like if your partner is yourself or dolls or sheep or something. It just and then it says it goes to this section on birth control. Now here's what it says, and you guys can help me out with some of this here.
Sure.
First one was abstinence, which I know means you're just not having sex at all. Okay. The second one, coitus interruptus, which I think means you're like pulling out and before anything can happen.
No, that
right?
means your kids walked in on you.
Yeah, that's good. And then it says condom male, which I know what the condom male is, or
right.
Condom female. Is there a condom for females? That's what it says.
I have no idea.
And then it says diaphragm,
Not
which
our generation.
not in our generation. Now they have, who knows what a woman's going on down there now. They have to have condoms and wearing, women do.
Female
I know what a
soft.
diaphragm is.
Very good.
And then the next thing was emergency contraception. You know what emergency contraception is?
Glass of whiskey.
No.
What?
You're running down to the drugstore to buy some condoms. That's what emergency.
Oh,
Something broke.
Yeah, something broke. And then the next one was implant. I don't know what implant you could get that's going to. And then injection. So what are you supposed to do before you have sex? Inject yourself with something?
That might be the female birth control. Might be injection. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. That's.
Then-
I think so.
Then the next one is inserts. I don't know what inserts you're going to bring to the table for that. I know Mike, but inserts you probably bring in.
oh, only one I can think of.
And then IUD, which I know what an IUD is. Then the next one, OCP. No idea what OCP means. A patch, probably like a cigarette patch. You can put a patch on, and it works as a
These
birth
are
control.
all options.
Yes, all of these, everyone. I started with A, abstinence. I'm only down to P, patch. Then there's postmenopausal, which means, for people who are, it doesn't matter if you're,
Yeah.
menopausal.
Yeah.
Then the rhythm method, which was what my Catholic mom and dad used because that's what they did in those days.
Once a year.
And then spermicide, which sounds terrible. Spermicide. Who rub some spermicide on you?
Spray it. You spray it around.
Okay.
Then sponge. What do you carry? Like a kitchen sponge with you into the bedroom?
Why are we spending so much time on this?
Well, we're almost done here. Then it goes surgical, male sterilization, female sterilization, then ring. What is a ring?
Your
Beats the
doorbell?
hell out of me.
And then finally, the last answer was other.
Other. I was going to say there's got to be a do not know or other. Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, I stood and stared at this thing forever. I didn't know what kind of birth control I was supposed to put in. So I just gave up. I think I put none or other or something.
Crazy.
All right.
Yeah.
The Bonehead Gen Xer of the Week. Now, this is, by the way, this guy who's our Bonehead Gen Xer of the Week has now been the Bonehead Gen Xer of the Week 2 weeks in a row.
Oh,
Yeah.
golf clap.
Yeah, thank you.
We love consistency.
This is Justin's son, the Chinese crypto businessman who lives in Switzerland, who bought that stupid $6.2 million banana thing with the duct tape that I showed you, actually, Mike, last week that I bought it. Well, they asked for $1 million, put it for sale for $1 million, and then at auction the other day it got 6 million.
Million.
And you know how I know that?
Probably saw it on the internet.
I bought it. I purchased it.
You are a wealthy guy now.
Yeah. Oh, I have
Can
my
I
own.
can I get a short-term loan?
You can get you can have a bite of it. It was 6 million. It was worth every penny of it. And now I'm going to, have it with my cereal tomorrow morning.
That was great.
And what he did this week to earn the honors as the bonehead Gen Xer of the week is he ate the banana. And by the way, I was saying that I was going to email him and say, I got a couple of bananas here on my shelf. If you want to pay $6 million, I'll go let you have them.
Yeah.
Why not?
You should send him a picture of yours.
He might buy it.
He might buy it. You never know, just to keep it off the market.
And then it said that the original banana that the artist used that was put up on display, and this guy paid $6.2 million for, cost the artist 25 cents.
Yeah. But didn't he sell the original for a lot of money?
I think
No,
so.
I thought that was the original. You mean that wasn't the original banana?
No, hell no. They changed it every 3 days or so.
Might have used banana too then. Not even getting the original one.
Yeah, no, it was not the original one.
So in 2019, Justin's son paid $4.8 million. This guy's got too much money, by the
I
way.
was going to say, definitely.
He paid $4.8 million to have lunch with Warren Buffett. I don't know what if I could see that. If I was going to pay for money to have lunch with someone, I'd have lunch with Christy Brinkley.
Once again, your obsession rears its ugly head.
I tell her, I'd say, what the hell kind of drugs were you on to marry that idiot Billy Joel for?
Time for you to call up a photo of me and Christy.
And then this guy put up $28 million to be among the first passengers on Blue Origin's New Shepard spacecraft.
Yeah.
But he got that back because they canceled the trip.
Well, it just tells you how much money's in crypto, because he's a crypto guy, and he's also smart if he's Chinese, but he's living in Switzerland.
Yeah, he didn't want to pay the taxes.
No.
Who knows what taxes are in China?
Go to jail. You get to be too successful, they throw your ass in jail these days.
Take your money.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
All right. It's time for the scam of the week.
Well, this is a doozy.
It is a doozy. It's a doozy because I feel sorry for this person, and it also is the most, it's like, well, I'll just get into it. This woman named Judith Bolvin is driving along one day in her car, and her cell phone rings. And she's distracted. She's thinking about her husband who had a doctor's appointment, all this, and her caller ID says it's from Rockville, Maryland Police Department. So she answers it. She's being a good citizen. What is it, officer? Can I help you? He said her ID had been stolen. And she suddenly freaks out. And it not only stolen, it was stolen by Mexican cartel guys.
Oh, great.
So this guy says, though, he goes, well, listen, he goes, I'm going to put you on the phone with the head of Maryland's, of Rockville's police force. So another guy gets on the line and he says, your social security number has been flagged in a crime. And she needed to clear things up or she could face charges. Taken aback, she agreed to cooperate. But the chief goes, wait a minute, we won't, it's not for me. He goes, this is a federal crime. You're going to have to get on the phone with an FBI agent. So sure enough, pretty soon she's speaking with a third guy who informs her that the drug cartel had used her social security number to open up several bank accounts. And he warns her, he says, these criminal gangs are responsible for countless deaths and the relentless flow of illegal drugs. Would you be willing to be an asset? And Judith says yes. She's going to help.
Jeez.
So this FBI guy identifies himself as Wayne Jacobs. And when she looks up the name online, sure enough, there's a Wayne Jacobs running the criminal and cyber division of the Bureau's Washington field office. So to her, to Judith. This is all legit. He even gave her a case number for reference. And every phone call that she would get, she could trace back to the FBI. He called her twice a day, 9 and at 6, for months last year, from September to December. And then finally, he asks her, he says, listen, he goes, your assets are in danger, all the money you have. It would be safer if you put it into what he called a government safety locker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So guess what? She put her money in the government safety locker, and she never saw it again, and it came to a grand total of $595,000.
Yeah. Did you see the backstory where Merrill Lynch, where she had most of her money, tried to talk her out of it? And they even called the authorities and tried to verify and double check everything.
Yeah.
And she kept insisting that she had to move forward quickly, and she overrode all their cautions and all their warnings, and to make it more legitimate, the scammers told her to move her money from one financial institution to another one. So she did that, and Merrill Lynch thought, well, if it's to another financial institution, at least we could still head it off if something went wrong.
Right.
And of course, the minute she transferred it, it was gone.
That must have been her entire nest egg and her whole retirement fund, and then it's gone in an instant.
Yeah.
Well, what do we say, Mike, to people?
Don't answer your phone. Don't click on anything on your computer screen. Don't leave your home. Have your food delivered. Don't trust anyone unless you're married to them and they're sleeping in the same bed that you are. And even then, ask for paperwork.
That's right. That's what I do. I talk to her every day. Valerie has to reprove who she is to me before I go seeing her writing any checks or anything. Oh, man. So that's, anyways.
They got fingerprint locks on their doors, everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a real thing, though. People, boomers are just getting ripped off right and left by all these, millennial, Gen X, and Gen Z scam artists. They're just taking our money. Don't talk to them. Don't do anything. The thing about this one is that it was super clever, and they took their time and they went to great lengths. They actually showed in the article emails that she was getting from this guy, and they would have this official FBI imprints on it, and it was just super clever. All right.
Yeah.
So I saved my rants of this show for this part of it. The first one is, thank you, Mike. Thanks to your better half, Mary, for her crack detective work.
Is
And
it
her-
priceless?
Yeah, and sneaking around and getting this great video that I'm about to show. Here it is.
Thank you, Turpin.
Yes, that is a container that this woman is walking around with her cat.
Thank you, Turpin.
Strapped to her back.
Why do you need to walk around and leave the house and bring your cat with you?
The operative definition of cat lady.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah. What is that?
That was the American Cat Society calling to complain about my attitude.
It's probably the FBI want to talk to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
They want to make you an asset. Hey, I'm telling you something. If you have a cat, leave it home. You don't need to be bringing it out and putting it on your back and walking around with it. Nobody wants to see that in front of you when you're walking around.
No. Leave the door open. Maybe he'll run away. God.
I don't think, by the way, Paul, you have huskies. I don't think there's a container big enough I could stick my big lab in to run around. First of all, I probably couldn't carry him on my back.
There's something in New York that changed, I think, riding the subways or in the transit system, I want to say on the MTA, that you have to have, you can only carry your pet now onto transit. You can't walk a dog on a leash. So there's these pictures of these guys and girls carrying their huskies and their big dogs on their back through the subway. They're, again, just leave them at home or.
Yeah, why are you bringing your dog or cat on a subway? That's the worst place for it, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody will eat it.
So Jeff, Here's serendipity for you. The phone call that just came in. I'm just now reading the message that was left. Quote, "Good morning. My name is, good afternoon. My name is Monica, and I was just calling you to talk to you about the Bible. One of the witnesses, and if you have any questions, please go to jw.org regarding practical advice for daily living. Please enjoy the rest of your evening."
I don't know. You know,
Jesus Christ.
right.
JW.org.
Jesus Christ is the point here.
Yeah.
JW.org.
But the town that we live in is inundated with Jehovah Witness people. They're everywhere.
Oh, they always come to your house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't mind. They'll come knocking at the door. And so I go out there. I just happened to me a week or so ago. I went out and there's two nice young women there.
Yeah.
Sir, have you found the Lord? Or they asked me some question, and I, of course, you know what happened then.
Yeah.
I don't have to tell you. Oh, man. Anyways, they left quickly. Jehovah Witnesses. I don't even know what religion that is. It's a goofy religion. I understand most religions, but these well, I don't know what they are. The Jehovah Witness. Who's Jehovah and what are they witnessing?
Yeah. They're witnessing you separating from your money. That's all. It's like most religions. Follow the money.
All right. Besides dragging around cats and Jehovah Witnesses, the other thing is reporting. It's getting to be every week that there's some more food being, recalled somewhere.
Yeah.
Now it's cucumbers. They've got salmonella. You know what salmonella is? It's not has to do with anything that has to do with the fish salmon. By the way, it has to. No.
Bacteria.
It's bacteria.
Yeah.
And I said, what happens if you get salmonella? It says, well, you might have diarrhea, fever, chills, abdominal pain, or of course the all-time great, puking all over the place.
Great. But boy, was that a good salad.
Oh, man. So cucumbers, and then then Costco comes out this week. They're recalling over 10,000 batches. I don't know what a batch is, but 10,000 batches of organic eggs.
Yeah.
So I don't want salmonella at all. So I'm gonna stop. I'm just gonna drink alcohol and eat. Yeah.
I'm going to go on the gin diet.
If they ever declare that salmonella can be passed through gin, we're in trouble.
We're
Nice knowing you, gentlemen.
What about you, vodka boy? You probably have sipping that down there beneath. I can't even see your hands. Let me see your hands.
Yeah, at all times.
Yeah, at all times, drinking. Well, Mike, you sent me a picture of this woman who clearly knows how to stay away from getting sick on salmonella and everything. She's 105 years old, which, by the way, means that she was born in 1919, which is just after the end of World War I, before Lindbergh flew the Atlantic, before radio, but not before you graduated from high school.
That's right. I remember her.
Wrong.
Anyways, this 105-year-old woman had this advice for living better and for better, just overall health. She says, if you have, for better digestion, you drink beer. If you have a loss of appetite, you drink white wine. If you have low blood pressure, you drink red wine. For high blood pressure, she drinks scotch. And when she has a cold, she drinks schnapps. And then the joke was when someone asks her when she drinks water, she says, well, I've never been that sick. I drank. In high school, schnapps was like every one of our parents had schnapps for some reason in their home bars. This poor little Asheville, Ohio, my mom and dad, buying schnapps at the state liquor store and bringing it home and to give it to their friends. And of course, when I was a teenager, I tried to bust into the schnapps. And it's basically, first of all, it's peppermint flavored. Yummy, sweet, and full of alcohol. And so after I puked for I had salmonella-esque puking going on. I could never touch, smell, or even be near schnapps since then. That's been 60 years ago.
But don't we all have that one particular drink from high school that we've never can touch again? I mean,
Yeah.
whatever it might be, we all have that one.
Why? What's yours?
I would say Jägermeister.
Ooh,
That was brutal.
That
I've
is
done
brutal.
that. I've done that.
Yeah, there's no going back that route.
Yeah.
Oh man, Jägermeister. Oh, that was good stuff.
Mad Dog 2020 was my undoing.
Mad Dog 2020, man. That was when you were in college and you couldn't afford anything else. You drink Thunderbird too. Remember Thunderbird? What's the word? Thunderbird. What's the price? 20 twice. What's the action? Satisfaction. What's the what's the reason? Grapes in season. And we would sit there every night, we'd go pay 50 cents for Thunderbird and get drunk in our dorm room. Oh my God, what a pathetic person I was.
All that shit used to burn with a blue-white flame.
Oh my God.
You never wanted to be smoking around it, or you'd set yourself on fire.
Go light a cigarette. And all of a sudden, your flames coming out of your ears and your mouth.
God, that shit was awful.
Oh my God. Yeah, mine, Valerie's, by the way, is tequila. We went down to Tijuana after I met her, and we met another American couple at that bar in Ensenada, whatever it was called, Papa's and Beer or something. And they started buying shots, and I'm going, we shouldn't be drinking shots. Valerie pounded on the shots, and 20 minutes later, she's staggering over, barfing all over the place, and to this day, it's, all these years later, she says, touch it, and it doesn't touch it.
I'll remember that if I come over, because I love tequila.
Yeah, bring over a bottle of tequila and then open it up in front of her.
I love tequila.
All right. Now on to our idiotic Gen X, Gen Z TikTok videos that we love to have on the show. First one is here. This one is only 27 seconds long, but it took Duncan McCabe 10 months and 700 miles to make it. Let's watch this thing here. All right, now McCabe, an avid runner and animation enthusiast,
Of course. Yeah.
set out on a journey in January to create a now viral TikTok of a dancing stick figure. He made it using popular GPS tracking app Strava, which connects runners, cyclists, hikers, and walkers and allows them to record their routes. So you can imagine the planning that went into this thing, so he could make that stick figure dance around.
Yeah. I'm worried about his mental health.
He's not American, though, by the way. If you look at that map carefully, it's in London, England. We can't even blame this on an American person.
That's a lot of concentrated time. I mean,
It
that's
is.
a lot of time.
A lot of thinking to go into that, how to do this so they could dance around and stuff.
Yeah, you kind of have to admire the creative aspect of it, but it's our usual question at the end of watching any of these nonsensical bits is why.
Yeah. I'll tell you why. After you see this next one, I'll tell you why exactly. And now I've formulated a theory, and I'm 100% right as always. This is what I called this TikTok had another name, but I called dumb dancing girl. So let's watch this for a second. Why in hell is she? What is she wearing? First of all, is that like a toenail, a thumbnail or something on her head and her hands and feet?
No, they're oven mitts. They're oven mitts.
But I did think they were like nails up tight.
Yeah, they were nails. It was pretending to be like she has a thumbnail on her head and stuff. But either way, even if it is an oven mitt, that's even stupider. That even makes less sense.
I don't even want
my
to talk
God.
about it anymore. It is so stupid and so pointless.
But this is where I go to now. We've been covering these TikTok videos by these idiot Xers for weeks now, and the point is, she has about 200 tats, by the way, visible on her body too. So that wasn't enough to get attention. So now she's gone to putting on oven mitts on her head.
Yeah.
And she doesn't show her face, which is weird.
Which is really good. Yeah, because
How do you know?
no one would ever take her seriously the rest of her life.
Oh my God, that's why she didn't do it. She didn't want people at work
Yeah.
to see her.
Oh, you're the oven mitt lady. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, we'll call you back if anything opens up.
Their need for attention is unquenchable.
It's just. Here's my other question. Since all the Chinese commies are gathering all this data, what the fuck are they going to learn from watching that moron? I mean,
That's what they learn, and Americans are morons. We have generations now of complete idiots. They're under Chinese spell. They'll do whatever the Chinese tell them to do now.
God. It's
This is
just.
where I think they make their inroads into, like, she's a TSA officer, right? And that, oh, we like your video, and then, we can get through security or whatever we need to do later on.
Something. I just.
She was a TSA agent?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Okay. All right. Speaking of TSA, so the Washington Post did a great story, Mike, that you sent me about airplane etiquette that covered 50 rules that cover you from when you leave your house all the way to when you, during flying and when you deplane and when you leave the airport.
Yeah.
And some of these 50, I didn't write down them all of them, but they're pretty good. One is don't show up late and expect to cut the line. I follow the GIMP rule. I get up there and when they announce it, who needs extra time to get on board, I all of a sudden got the worst limp in the world. I'm dragging my leg so that I can get on. But
You gate lice. You gate lice, you.
okay, lice. Abandon your partner if they don't have TSA pre-check. Now that's a bold move because one time I did that. I said to Valerie, "You go ahead. I'm not waiting for you. I'm going through," and I got ripped on for about the whole entire flight.
As you should have.
I do it all the time. I tell Louise that. I say, like, if, don't get in an argument, and then she'll get in an argument, like, make up your mind, shoes on, shoes off, which one do you want? And I'm like, I don't know.
Man, that's cold. Peanut butter is a liquid. Remember that, so don't bring it to the airport, you fool. Don't touch other people's stuff. Find your seat and get out of the aisle. Right, Paul? These are basic.
Number
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Don't. No one wants to switch seats with you, so don't ask. And by the way, that goes the other way around. Don't ask me if I want to switch seats. I can tell you, I'm not switching seats with anybody.
I'll bet you're a treat to fly with.
Oh my God. I have a much longer story I'll tell you someday about the time I got thrown off an airplane. And and it is a Jim Dandy one, even for my craziness.
Very special old people this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One long story. No reclining, no exceptions. Keep your shoes on and your socks on. That's absolutely, that is the worst thing. If I saw barefoot and dragging near my, coming up on the side, it would be the last time this dude would be able to walk right.
Yeah.
I will share with you the worst view from a crew member standpoint on an aircraft. If you're sitting up front in the jump seat and you're looking down the aisle, if you're sitting in the seat and it's 3 and 3 on each side and you're sitting in seat 1D and you're a guy, do not sit there spread-eagled looking forward with all your junk hanging out in your shorts while I'm sitting there looking down the aisle.
Oh, man.
That's when you get up and spill something in his lap.
Yeah, and you're going like, oh my
Oh,
gosh,
geez.
you just...
Oh, man. That's ugly. I don't know how that, I would, that's, does that come up in the contract negotiations with the union? Have to do something?
Oh my God. I actually never, I really have a lot to say about men versus women when it comes to crews and working on crews, because even if it is 2024, I mean, there are so many female flight attendants that still get, when you're walking down the aisle, there are a lot of people that just poke you, on the belt line, like you're a guy in that, but there are a lot of girls that still get pinched in the ass. I mean, unbelievably. I would venture to say at least multiple times a day. You know
Well,
what I mean?
what can they do about it? Are they allowed to slap anybody?
Oh, no, they just say like we're not going again. Like some of the flights like to Cuba are the worst because the guys that just blatantly just go right up and like girls have said like, oh, I'm not going to fly to Cuba anymore. Those guys on those flights are obnoxious as hell.
Oh, that's funny. I don't. Thank God. Oh my God, that's just terrible. That's terrible. I feel bad for him. Then the final one here was don't treat the bathroom like Keith Moon's hotel room. Oh, I can't even imagine. You should go in there, do your business, but I mean pee, nothing else. Clean up after yourself and leave. Anything else beyond that that's just terrible. Terrible.
It's a horrible place.
It is a horrible thing. When
It's
you
a
think about it,
horrible
it's the
place to
most
be.
horrible. And you're up there for 5 hours. Oh my God.
I will tell you the one thing that is not covered under any airline contract for any employee, and that is when someone gets sick in
Yeah.
the seat.
Yeah.
And misses the bag, and you understand it, little kids and everything, but no one wants to clean it up. No one, and there is just, I mean, I'll tell you, it is the rawest stuff. It's like I go back, I get coffee grounds out of a coffee pouch, throw them on the floor to kill the scent, first of all. That's why you'll find coffee pouches hanging up in the toilet so often, because the only thing that is on board that will kill the stench is to hang a coffee bag in the pet toilet.
Oh God.
I'll tell you more airline secrets some other weeks. That's okay.
TMI. TMI.
That's a good one. I'm gonna have to keep some coffee bags around.
Keep some coffee bags around.
Yeah, some of these guys around this neighborhood are coming to visit. I better keep some coffee around. Who knows?
From now on, I'm driving.
How are you getting to New York from Los Angeles? I'm just gonna drive it.
Start early.
Start early.
Oh man. This next one, I got this story again, Mike. You discovered this somewhere, probably in that weird and wacky AOL world of yours, where you get all these stories. This woman in Australia, she has a wild encounter. Anyway, she's driving along 50 miles an hour, looks down at her leg, and there's a tiger snake, which evidently is extremely poisonous, and it starts crawling up her leg. So she manages to pull over and jump out of the car somehow, and this thing falls off of her. They call for a snake control guy. He shows up, and he captures the snake. And he said, "Oh, the lady's really fortunate."
No
Why?
shit.
Yeah,
And
if it would have been me, the thing would have crawled up all inside my pants. I would have been trying to drive. I would have probably crashed off the road.
No, man, I'd opened the door and done a barrel roll right out of the car. And just let the car and the snake keep right on going.
The car and the snake. What if it's in your pants? What are you going to do?
Then it's too late.
Late.
Trust me.
He goes, this guy said, he tells the Channel 9 News, he goes, normally when snakes are in cars, they find a really nice little hidey hole. They can stay in for days and not come out.
Yeah.
So that freaked me out. I go out there, I was looking all over my car this afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Under your seat. In your car, the only spot is under the seat.
Well, yeah, under the seat for sure. All right. This is, it's time, for that weekly special part of our show where we talk about our dear friends, the Florida man,
Time-honored tradition.
and what they're up to, because it always makes my life feel better when I know what these idiots are up to, or how bad things there are down in the old Sunshine State. So the first story is very simply a typical guy in Florida. He gets methed up and screwed up, and he's so fucked up that he tries to break into a police station. First thing he does is he knocks over the X-ray machine, and then he crawls through the metal detector, and then and then he knocks over some table that's got computers on there, and he looks up, and there's a bunch of cops around him. They kick the hell out of him, and they throw him in a cell.
Sounds like all ended as planned.
Yeah, and of course, when they got him into the cell, they searched him, and they found a meth pipe on his pocket.
Duh.
All right, the second one here is Florida man goes into a steak and shake. Now, imagine what a steak and shake is like. If it's the same restaurant, you can buy a steak and a milkshake anyways.
Yeah.
So it's a steak and shake, and this guy goes in there, urinates on the floor, and then goes to sleep.
Good thing he wasn't on your airplane.
Yeah, exactly, right?
I was just gonna say that could have been behavior on one of these balls fights.
That's why I never walk barefoot to the restroom in a plane.
Oh, God, no. No,
Oh man.
no.
I tell you my restaurant this story. At the Olympics, 1984. I'll tell this quick. I was went to a game at the old sports arena, and I got in to see a basketball game. It wasn't the United States playing; it was two other teams. One of them was some country like Austria or Switzerland or one of those countries, because they were all wearing these dirndls and these hats with feathers in them and clogged shoes. So they were all there to root for their team, and they're wearing their national garb. Halftime, every man goes to the restroom, and in those days, in the sports arena, it was old school. There was a trough of about two troughs, about 50 feet wide and long, and all these men are standing there peeing, and there's pee all over the floor. It's an absolute mess. It's like an inch of pee and toilet paper and everything. And these two guys come in wearing their stupid clogs and their dirndls or whatever, and their little feather in their hat. And one of them says something, and he slips and he goes flying up in the air, and he lands right on his back in the middle of that. And you know what the American men do? We start laughing our ass off.
Of course.
Everybody turn around, go in the bathroom, going,
Oh, man.
"Oh man!" All right, this last one here is an aggressive squirrel is terrorizing a neighborhood, causing residents to act in extreme abundance of caution. The offending rodent has gone after 4 people using its claw and teeth to injure its victims. So I couldn't find the location for this one, the exact location, so I decided to Google it. And I wrote in the Google bar, the search bar, aggressive snake neighborhood, or something like that. You know how many stories came up? About 1,000.
Yeah,
So I think American squirrels have gone nuts. It's like those monkeys down in South Carolina. It's like everything else. They're bears, and all these animals have gone nuts.
well, when we when we lived in L.A., Jeff, close to where you guys lived, we used to go to the golf course there on Pico, and the squirrels there would literally jump on your golf cart and unzip your golf bag to get your sandwich or whatever you had that might be reasonably edible. But they'd literally unzip the golf bag.
Those are pretty smart squirrels if they
Yeah.
can do some unzipping.
Yeah, I mean, it was a real hazard.
I know. Yeah.
Louise was in Burbank like a month ago, and she got home late, and at midnight, a bunch of raccoons surrounded the car. She had to call the lady inside to come out to get rid of them before she could get inside.
Yeah.
Oh my God, a raccoon attack! Holy
A raccoon attack. I think you actually may have a picture of it somewhere.
Oh, get the picture of it. Did she
I'll
take a
send
picture of it? Oh, you've got to send me that picture. I'll put that in the show. We'll feature that. I'll just move this whole segment to the top of the show. Seeing a bunch of those creepy little raccoons. At nighttime, you can see their eyes shining.
Yeah, they're little masks.
He certainly can. He certainly can.
Crazy. We had those squirrels down there when I lived down in that last place I was living at. Now they just attacked that avocado tree, and it would make me nuts.
Yeah.
And I'd have to sneak out there and shoot at them with water and stuff. And anyways, and also when I was in college, I went to a small college in Ohio, and next to the college was a cemetery. And in that cemetery was the most inbred squirrels you've ever seen. They were 6 different colors. They had long claws in the front and the funky faces. They'd all been in there having sex with each other for 100 years, and they were all weird out, like it's a family from Appalachia or something. It's nuts. Anyways, all right.
Gosh.
So much for the show today. It was wonderful. Thank you, Mike and Paul. Everybody out there, please subscribe. We're getting very close to that point where if we have enough subscribers, then we'll make $20-30 a week, and Mike and I can buy our cheapy drinks and not have to worry about our cutting into our Social Security checks.
We can move to top shelf liquor.
Yeah, I know. Right now we're drinking that rot gut, and we could subscribe and help us out, please. If you subscribe, Mike and Paul will come by your house and they'll tell you what life was like before electricity. They know all about it. Or you can send us an email to oldpeoplethisweek@gmail.com. Do not use that filthy AOL account like these guys got.
It's a great AOL account.
AOL.
Never fails. Never
It's a
fails.
classic.
Works every time.
Oh my God, that thing, that company.
Just like a hand crank telephone. It never fails.
Yeah,
Can
crank
always get through.
If you're tired of looking at our faces, or not my face, of course, but their faces and their hair, check us out on Apple or Spotify. Don't be touching those things. Oh my God. And definitely check out our Substack, 52tasks.substack.com. Last week we ran down the things that we are truly thankful for. That was a good list. And this week I'm going to impart some more knowledge that you'll need in a task for you to perform. So thank you very much. It's good to see you guys. We'll see you next Tuesday. Adios.
You got it.
Take
Adios,
care.
everybody.
Thank you all.